Queer 2024. I saw this in February, so it's a little while back now, but I hadn't got around to reviewing it. I originally was going to see it in the cinema in December, but it wasn't on for very long, and it was not in a cinema I could get to easily, so um, I gave it a miss. However, I'm really glad I got to see it on streaming afterwards. So the film stars Daniel Craig as William Lee, and he plays William. He's like a fictionalized version of William Burroughs, from what I gather. And there's the other characters include Eugene Allerton, played by Drew Starkey, Joe Guidry, played by Jason Schwartzman, and Dr. Cotter, played by Leslie Manville, and a few other characters. But a lot of it is set in Mexico City, and it's um, sultry weather, it's really warm, and William Lee, is uh, seems to spend all his time bar hopping. He spends a lot of his time in bars and picking up men, I guess. He's in particular, there's particular men he's interested in. There's one whom he's not sure is queer. He asks his friend, who, as I said, Joe, who suggests that maybe he could ask him, but no, it's not the protocol. I mean, this was like the 50s or 60s, can't remember the exact time, but I imagine it was probably illegal then, just as much as it would have been in the UK at that time, in so much of the world at that point. And there was a way of there were communications. I mean, I was talking to someone the other day about Polari, the language developed between gay men to avoid detection when it was illegal, and it was difficult. I mean, you really had to have a tuned in gaydar, and it would have been really problematic, I would say, if you got caught. And I've been meaning to look up what the legal situation was like in Mexico City. I don't suppose it would have been legal, but I think a lot of things were tolerated, as I imagine they would be elsewhere. And it's just that sort of thing that authorities, when things get decriminalized and they're not illegal, and they're not legal, and they're in that sort of uncertain area. And I guess even after 1967 in the UK, there was a problem with a sort of semi-illegal, a lot of harassment by the police. It took a long time for society to catch up and for things to be better. But at this time, it does feel fairly. I mean, it's s- um, sepia toned. It's that kind of. It's got a lovely old worldy feel about it, even though there's the whole chill of me knowing what it would have been like back then, for gay people, and yet the pickups work out all right to a large extent. There was some confusion, so I'll get onto that before I finish. But there's this there's this trip Daniel Craig makes, William Lee makes down to South America, and it's like looking for a particular drug. I guess it was similar to ayahuasca. Probably wasn't ayahuasca. I think I looked it up, but hallucinogenic drugs. And there's some very strange um, visual stuff that happens that was slightly confusing. There was like Dr. Cotter, who seems very uptight and worried and quite angry, threatening. Um, but she does allow um, these guys to try the drugs that they want to try. I don't really understand the quest of going so far for such an experience. I know a friend who I know from my old LGBTQIA plus network said that strange things happen in this film. There's a strange thing that happens right at the end of this film as well. Didn't really understand that. And I don't know. I'm not always clear if it's imagination or reality with things like that. I mean, I often just go with the flow. Um, but because there's a lot of questions on my mind, I'm inquisitive to find out more. And I think I'm going to score it 7.75. It's kind of really interesting, it's good acting, but all the stuff that I didn't really understand, I would like to find more about. And since I don't know, um, it's sort of I need to understand it better. But um, I'd like to know if you've got any thoughts on this film. It is watchable. I think I might have been slightly disappointed if I'd showed out and seen it in the cinema, even though it would have been on a bigger screen and more impressive for it. There's still parts about the film that I'm not quite sure on. And I don't really know I mean, the there's something about the way w one of the characters at the end says that the other's gone away somewhere when actually they're still there, and yeah, there's quite a lot of the narrative that I found really patchy, um, and so I'm just thinking there's a lot of imagination or perhaps dream sequences, and I wasn't really clear on that. And so that sort of disrupts what I feel about films like this. In a sense, I mean, I think I'll go along with the mood, and I think that is good. But I'd like to know more. So, um, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Please like if you like this review. Thanks if you subscribe and hit that notification bell. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.